All right, let's see here. Check, check, and check. Alrighty, well, let's get this popping. Cool. Ohio, gozaimasu. Dojo yoroshiku daiji. Dang it. Oh, I was really hoping to pull that one off. What's up, guys? Yeah, no, I am recording. What is up, guys? It is Diegesis, the creator of Dormenvale, and today we are going to be doing a hopefully quick, Q&A session because I have a D&D session to go to at 7. Yeah, I know, I was really close. If this is your first time hearing about Dormenvale, then check out the Kickstarter. The link will be in the description below. Also, if you're interested in some of the sneak peeks and getting a first look at some of the content that I am making here, then consider joining our Discord. The link for that will also be in the description. Now, before we hop into taking the questions from the chat, I've got a list of frequently asked questions that I have gotten while all this is going on. So we're going to go through those real quick. And then after that, all y'all that are in the chat right now, we'll get to your questions. So this is in order of... Oh, I didn't put these in order. I should have anyway. They're frequently asked, so let's start going through them. One that I've gotten recently a lot is questions about the Brawler class. Question being, why is Brawler its own class? Sounds like a reflavored monk. Why not just make it, or why not just be a fighter with the unarmed feature? And those are great questions. First off, the Brawler class was actually one that I created, or began creating anyway. It's kind of been in limbo since 2016. But I created it back in 2016, back when Monk was really the only option for unarmed fighting. And this was before Tasha had the unarmed fighting feat and everything like that. And the goal for it wasn't to be so much based in like kung fu, jiu-jitsu, martial arts of that nature. I wanted a class that really focused around just straight up decking dudes in the face, like boxer style, right? So I did originally try to fit it into the monk class and make it just a subclass. However, the features that monk has just didn't fit the aesthetic that I was going for. So the brawler is adept at being in combat and even gets benefits and whatnot from being in combat. The feature that I created around this is called grit, right? So the more damage that they take, they get a series of extra traits and benefits depending on their subclass and whatnot. So the primary reason why Brawler is its own class is, for me, the flavor aspect of it just didn't fit with the monk. Mechanically, yeah, I'm sure you could make it work, but we here at Dormenvale are all about the flavor. So you might find something that is somewhat similar to what the other base classes offer, flavor-wise, or not flavor-wise, but mechanically-wise. But the flavor of their mechanics just doesn't fit the aesthetic. So therefore, it requires an entire redesign on my part. So that is why the Brawler is its own class. And I promise you guys, once you actually see the Brawler, it'll probably make more sense. They also have, of course, like the Wrestler subclass too, because who doesn't want to be like a straight up luchador? Granted, I know, like I said before, I know it's a part of Tasha's now. I know Tasha's has a lot of support for unarmed fighting. I'm aware of this now. However, it's too late and I've already put in a lot of work. So I'm going full send, regardless. The next question is, seems like the martial classes get the short end of the stick in Dormenvale. Was that design on purpose? So with that one, a majority of the people that I have had play in Dormenvale up to this point, I don't have a numerical number off the top of my head, but it's been over 60, right? It's been over 60 people in the past year and a half. That's not even including back when Dormenvale was in beta, but I don't count that because, quite frankly, just being honest, it was pretty trash. It was pretty trash. So I'm only counting the last 2 years. So I've had about 60 people that I've had the pleasure of playing with. A lot of those were just one-shots. The Blaze of the Beacon, of course, being my longest running group of about the full 2 years. Hold on, I can't. I'm gonna read the chat in a second, guys. But yeah, Blades of the Beacon have been in the group for the longest, for the full 2 years that Dormenvale has been out of its beta stage. And a lot of the time, they play casters, right? A lot of the people, at least, have some sort of spellcasting ability. So a lot of the material that I have already created was tailored towards those parties. Since they were all casters, you're going to find that a lot of the sneak peeks and stuff that I have to offer right now are caster based. Doesn't mean I don't have some martial things. Like, for example, one of my favorite items that I made for a martial class was the pyrotechnic wraps, which is for the monk in the Blades of the Beacon bander that you guys got to meet in the last stream. Hands down, probably one of my favorite martial items that I've ever made. If you've ever seen Fire Force, that was the inspiration for it. It, no pun intended, it's fire. It's fire. But yeah, that's why you see a lot of caster related items right now. Doesn't mean I don't have martial stuff. I do. It's just until I finish fleshing it all out, you guys won't be able to see it yet. Okay, now let me look at chat real quick. You wish it would be short. Yeah, no, you're right. We will welcome new neighbors to the citizens of Dormenvale. Yes, please give them the old thank you for your contribution. The flavor of Sweet Nightmares appeals to the man of many faces. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. Why is my... Wait, why was my name said? Oh, it just clicked. It just clicked because I just said, yeah. That's funny. No, because I said the pyrotechnic raps were fire, and his Twitch name is Fire. Yeah, I caught your joke. I thought it was funny. Also, are you guys hearing the music that I have in the background? Is it too low? It looks too low. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. Okay, that's a little too high now. Bleh? Is that how you pronounce your name? Bleh? I don't think I've seen you in the stream before. I could be mistaken, but regardless, welcome to Dormenvale, and it's a pleasure to have you. The grit mechanic seems like a really cool thing for the fighter class. Yes, agreed. And believe me, I tried to fit it in there too. I really, really, really did. And I'm really tempted. I'm still tempted to try to make or fit the brawler class into the fighter. I'm sure if I just sacrificed a couple things, I probably could. But I don't know. I'll work all that out in my own time. All right. Next question. Next most popular question. What will be the method used for stat generation in Dormenvale? That one is simple. It's just going to be point buy. I've decided that point buy will be the probably the fairest thing to use, and then it gives you flexibility, of course. So yeah, we're going to go with point buy. Yeah, playtest exists for a reason, exactly. Next question. Will races, classes, subclasses, etc. from books such as Tasha, Xanathar's, etc. be allowed in the living world? So all of the classes in the player's handbook I can legally use within Dormenvale. As far as Tasha, Xanathar's, etc. goes, I believe we have found a workaround for that. So I'm going to be taking some time to reread all of the content and whatnot and see which portions I will allow in Dormenvale and which ones I won't. I think for the sake of making my life easier, the Dampires for sure are going to be in there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. So in a nutshell, we're looking at yes, it's just a matter of which pieces of content we are deciding are going to be let in. I keep saying we, but this portion of it is really me. I do have the Blades that are part of my team as far as, helping me with streams and of course helping me make content via playing in Dormenvale. But this portion of it, yeah, I keep saying we, but it's just me here. It's just me. Now this is a question I didn't think I would get so soon, but I've gotten it about 11 times now, which is, will I ever do a face reveal? Right now, no. Um, maybe in the far future, yeah, I could probably be persuaded in the near future, or not near future, but in the far future. But as it stands, no. You guys are just gonna get to see my Kowalka mask, which is drying right now. I know, right? I mean, like I'm not even like a popular figure yet. I'm just getting started with all of this, and it's wild. But people like mystery. People like the mystery, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Um, so the next question though is, how does dying work in Dormenvale, both for NPCs and PCs? Now, this one's a bit more of a lore question. So, dying in Dormenvale, to put it simply, if an NPC dies in Dormenvale, they don't come back, technically speaking. Now, the reason for this is that there is this afterlife plane known as the Silver City. Now, the Silver City in itself is a living entity. It does have citizens within the city that actually live and reside there. And then, of course, it has the actual afterlife portion of it. So when somebody dies, their soul is claimed by the Silver City. Like I said before, the Silver City is a living entity, though. And right now, for reasons I will not get into, because you'll have to wait till the book is published, the Silver City is feeling a little jaded. So when a soul dies, instead of sending it to its proper destination, are allowing it to move between the afterlife plane and the material plane, or whichever other plane that it so wishes to go to. The Silver City says, no, I'm keeping your soul, and there's nothing you can do about it. So when an NPC dies, and you try to resurrect it, or try to resurrect them, what ends up happening is the body is indeed resurrected. However, there is a different soul that enters that body. So the NPC, for all intents and purposes, is a completely different NPC at that point. It just wears the face of your once beloved NPC. And the Blades unfortunately got to find out about this when they accidentally killed this little Tulok spider NPC that I had named Maximax when they asked him to run Identify on a Necronomicon. How does the Silver City claim souls? I'll actually answer that one right now. So how the Silver City claims souls, it is just a natural process of the planes dictated by the aspects of creation. Whenever something dies, it goes to the Silver City first. Think of it like the first stage of judgment. From the Silver City, it goes to Carcium, which is where the actual judge of the afterlife resides, and then he dictates where your soul gets to go, depending on, of course, religious affiliations, actions that the individual has done, etc., etc. Yes, a Necronomicon. Yes, that's a story for itself. So yeah, that's how the Silver City claims a soul. I'll get to the rest of your questions in a second, DT. I gotta get through the rest of these first. So, who will get to play? Oh, wait, before I move on, PC deaths. So, PC deaths work similarly to an NPC. However, a PC can take prior preparations in order to avoid losing their soul to the Silver City. There is this mechanic in Dormenvale known as advanced rituals that will allow you to store your own soul for the sake of, resurrection. Granted, the soul will only last so long before, it kind of just fades away into the ether. In addition to that, upon doing so, agents of the Silver City will be coming for you 100% to claim the soul that you anchor to the material plane. But otherwise, yeah, you're going to be suffering some massive amnesia. You might find that some of your class abilities don't function for a little bit. So it's not as intensive as the NPC dying, but there are some downsides to resurrecting your PC in Dormenvale. But are there multiple Necronomicons? No, there is Well, it's one Necronomicon, but it's split into three, I want to say 3 books. Yeah, one Necronomicon split into 3 books. Now moving on to the next question though, who will get to play in the living world? So upon the living world actually becoming launched, which is going to be hosted both on my website and on the Discord, I'm going to have a team of DMs that I will be training up and whatnot that will be responsible for running games within the living world. Upon launch, I am shooting to have between 15 and 20 DMs, each of them having parties between 4 and 5. Not going to try to do the math, but if it's 20 DMs, 5 players per DM, then that'll be about 100 people in the living world. And that's the idea. That's what my goal is for that. As far as how to get inside the living world, it's similar to Arcadium's Verum. You simply are going to create a character, put in a submission, and then we will go from there. The only other thing is that all games in the living world are going to require to be live streamed, both for the sake of accountability and then for the sake of, well, content generation, of course. Zinthos, that is actually a great question. That does actually tie into the current one, so I will answer that real quick. You cannot be both a DM and a player. You have to choose one or the other. That being because as a DM, you're going to have information about a lot of the story. And so transferring that over to being a player could get a little dangerous. Could get very dangerous. Now, I know some DMs are capable of splitting DM time and player time when it comes to role playing. However, I don't want to end up running into a situation where somebody who's DMing and then somebody that's a player ends up like hard metagaming and then ruining the experience for everyone else. So I've just decided across the board, it's either you can be a DM or you can be a player, but not both. Yeah, it is tragic. I really do wish it could be any other way. I would love to be a player. I know it sounds weird, but I would love to be a player in my own world. But honestly, playing through the world, just knowing everything, it would be kind of weird. It'd be kind of weird. Yeah. Now this one is specifically for the Kickstarter. I've gotten this one about, what did I write down? 17 times now. Is the Council of Auguries tier the only way to get the bestiary? Currently, yes, it is the only way to get the bestiary. However, on the Dormenvale website, I'm going to be opening up the shop page on there where all of the Kickstarter add-ons are going to be. So once that is live, and I'm planning to have that live either the day the Kickstarter ends or 3 days afterwards. It really is just depending on my my work schedule, because I do have a full-time job right now. So I'm trying to fit all this in while doing Dormenvale and having a social life. Yeah. But yeah, to answer that question, all the add-ons, the bestiary, the minis, soundtrack is free, so not soundtrack, but any other stuff that I come up with for add-ons, it's going to be on my website. Will Drampires be in Dormenvale? Actually, I just answered that question. I've gotten that question 23 times now, though. Yes. Yeah, Drampires will be in Dormenvale because they're hot, and I like that. Let's see. Next question. When will playtesting be available? So playtesting is going to be going live on the Discord server. I will have the channel up and everything ready, and then the first batch of playtest material on March 15th is when that's going to be happening. So yeah. And I think that is all the frequently asked questions. The last one being what is Inanis, but that's a long one, so we're going to wait till near the end of the stream to answer that one, because Inanis is that's a big question. So now let's wrap back around to this chat real quick and get these ones answered. All right, is it like normal course a soul goes to, or is it artificially drawn to them? Okay, I did answer that one already. Where do souls come from? Are they created naturally? Souls are just a natural part of a living creature. everything in Dormenvale does indeed have a soul, or at the very least prana. So plants, insects, animals, trees, humanoids, soft skins, all of them. They all have souls slash prana. Will you be running Living World games once a month like a LARP? I will actually be I will be a DM for the Living World. Yes, I will be planning to do between running 5 and 6 parties within a given week. This being the case, of course, once I get Dormenvale to a point where I can sustain myself off of it and not have to work full time at my other job. But yes, I will be running a lot of Living World games. Yes. Let's see. Tragic, understandable though. If we're live streaming sessions, will the DMs have Twitch names? Duro number 2. No, I don't require the diegesis or the Duro tag. Fun fact on that, the name diegesis Duro, it essentially just means enduring story, and that's it. One of the definitions of Duro is endurance, coupled with other things that we won't get into because it's very lewd, but I'm choosing to go with endurance. And then diegesis is just a fancy way to say storytelling or plot. So yeah. Let's see. I would like to DM, but I'd rather experience the world as a player. Yeah, honestly, same. Speaking of work schedule, will you be running a Living World game once a month? Wait, didn't it just... like a LARP? No, actually. I have tried LARPing in the past, because purebred nerd over here. But no. I don't think I will be doing that. However, I know I am going to get Dormenvale to the point where it has a virtual reality world, and then we'll be doing roleplay inside of that. I know I at least want to have one city that is capable of role-playing in. I know that for sure. Prana versus soul difference. All right, fantastic question. So let's get into that real quick. So the soul is what encapsulates the personality and the memories of a creature, right? Now, the soul and prana are two separate entities. Like I said before, the soul is the makeup, the personality, the memories, and everything of a creature, and then prana is the life energy of a creature. So one fuels the being, one is the aspects of a creature. And that's why I say some creatures don't have souls, but they do have prana, like plants. Plants don't have souls. They have prana. They have an actual life force. So yeah. Hope that answers your question. Let's see. Will NPCs be allowed non-PC transformations such as lynchdom, vampirism, true... I can't read without my glasses. Oh, lichen, like non-hybrid. I'm actually debating on that one. I know lynchdom is out of the question. That's that one's a bit much. As in, it's a little too powerful. At least in Dormenvale. Dormenvale liches are they work differently than standard 5e liches. So I'm gonna have to say no to lynchdom. However, vampirism, lycanthropy, transformations such as that, I am thinking of allowing for NPCs. Because even like a 5th level character could end up with vampirism, so like I ain't gonna trip over that. Let's see, will the live games be once a month, or will you be doing one weekend a month or every other weekend? Living World games on, like when I stream them to Twitch and whatnot, I will pretty much be doing them consistently throughout the week. When I first start, they're just gonna be twice a week. For the sake of me just learning how I want to do the stream layouts, stream flow, and all that good stuff. But once I get into the swing of things, I will pretty much just be consistently streaming live games. Let's see, I do have a question. Are races going to have set ability score increases, or can you pick where they go yourself? So all races in Dormenvale, you get to put a +2 in one stat and a +1 in another, wherever you like. Because flexibility is beautiful and races are complicated individuals, and I don't feel like generalizing them to 2 stats is the move. If you want to make a bulky goblin, you make yourself a bulky goblin. If you want to make yourself an intelligent casting Goliath, hey bro, more power to you. You go do that. Let's see, either way, a lich is like CR 19. This is true. Liches are just strong in general. But liches are strong not in terms of mechanical power in Dormenvale, but they hold a lot of social and political power within Dormenvale. So that's why I say it's a bit different, yeah. Let's see. So I'm assuming the soldiers in the Silver City since are equivalent to D&D Celestials. Do you have a Hell/Abyss equivalent? So yes, the Silver City entities that are sent out would be of celestial nature. Now the Silver City doesn't have its own set of angels. Those are those are reserved just for the plane of Auguris. But yes, their soldiers are celestials, and I do have a Hell/Abyss equivalent within Dormenvale, and I think I have it in my cosmology document. But Apodi, the 9 realms of Apodi, is the Hell for Dormenvale, and then the Abyss. Oh, I can't remember the name of it right now. Let me just see if it's in my cosmology document. Let's see. Beep, 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 beep. Did I not put the realms? Did I not put all of the realms in this cosmology document? That's kind of cringe. That's actually a little cringe. That's fine. I probably have it in my OneNote then. Beep, 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 beep. Oh yeah, I guess you guys can actually like see what all my projects are. Get rid of that notification. Okay, 9 realms of Apodi, Carcium, Librarian Infinis, Necron, Dreamscape. Did I not put it in my project list either? I don't think I did. Wow, okay. All right, well, to answer your question though, yes, there is an Abyss in Dormenvale. I just have to remember what it is and where I put the document for it. Because I think it's only come up like 3 times in the entire time that I've been DMing in Dormenvale. Okay, so I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna put the realms into the document because that's kind of important. Oh, sweet. We have our first bot. That's nice. Well, let's start off by getting rid of you, Mr. T-Daz. Oh, this is why I need a moderator. Yes, burn it. Send it to the Silver City. It won't come back. All right, so oath domains are terms used a lot, so you will be changing the term oath and domain in the cosmology segment. Are you changing the wording of the subclass for paladins and clerics? So, yes, in this document, this one is a older document. Like I said before, it was before the whole official split and uniquely divine was really born. So right now here, it does say new oaths and domains. Yes, this will be all corrected and fixed once uniquely divine and the Dormenvale book go live. But this was the first initial concept for it. So as you can see here, depending on which god you choose, you have different channel divinities, you have different features and whatnot. And that's the direction that I'm taking Uniquely Divine in a nutshell. So then, okay, poggers. I have another question in reference to ability scores. Could you trade additional points to turn, for example, an 8 into a 6 for 1 or 2 more points, and so on? I did think about doing something like that. However, that is when the min-maxers come out and absolutely destroy that kind of system. Because if I do allow that, then it would be extremely easy for somebody to start off a level 1 character with a 20 in one of their scores. And that's not the move. That is not the move. That is an unwelcomed neighbor. Yes. Let's see. So if Kowalka reside in Inanis, how are we explaining Kowalka PCs on the Prime material? I'm glad you asked, good sir. So where's my history document? Where is my history document? Where did I put? Oh, I think it's in my OneNote. History. Or did I put it in time history? Did I ever finish this one? I never put it in here. Oh, this one only has the titles. That's whack. Okay, let me think. Where did I put my actual history document then? Okay, let's see. Do I at least have the third Inanic invasion in here? I don't think I do. No, because that's specific to Bridegale. So I'm not going to have it in my overall. Okay, I'll find the doc for that later. But to put this as simply as possible. So there was a band of Kowalka, some of those including the Kowalkas, King, Queen, Jester, Pharaoh, Vizier, Captain, and I can't remember the 7th dude's name. But essentially, they found a way to temporarily escape Inanis, right? And that was through the plane of Auguras. So there was this period of time where the plane of Auguras and the plane of Inanis actually overlapped for a small period of time. And that gave a band of Kowalka, about 45 of them, the ability to get back into the material plane in order to find an anchor point over in the World Rift that will allow more Kowalka to come through, which is the point in time that the blades of the Bicken are currently at, where the Kowalka are slowly leaking back into the material plane. There's a lot more story behind that, but that is probably the shortest way and the easiest way to explain it. Okay, so let's do... Yeah, our race is more about lore and some abilities than stats then, since you can choose any stats regardless of race. Yes, so the big thing in Dormenvale is that I primarily wanted people to fall in love with a race because of their story, more so than the stats that they could provide. Don't get me wrong, some of their abilities are really cool. They're really cool, and I'm proud of them. And I know some players are going to pick certain abilities over others for that reason. But most of the effort goes into writing the story for the races, and that is the primary focus. Let's see, many of your guides have you share names and even entire aspects with their D&D variants. I'm not entirely sure what that's referencing to, TBH. Are the mask of the Kawaka part of their body or something, or do they choose to wear after residing in Inanis and returning to the material plane? Fantastic question. I love talking about the Kawaka. The Kawaka are my babies. So, a Kawaka mask is bound to their face, right? And the way that a Kawaka mask is obtained is once they got to Inanis, and keep in mind, previously when they were in the material plane as the Alvalash, they did not possess the mask, right? But once they got into Inanis and they learned of the, or not learned, but they were forced to adapt to the laws of Inanis, which is consume and adapt essentially, is the whole premise of Inanis. It's feed the beast or be its next meal. Simply put, survival of the strongest. Yeah. But legitimately, in order to survive in Inanis, you have to keep consuming something stronger than you. If too much time passes by and you don't, then the landscape consumes you instead. So, the Kowalka found out about this quick after their numbers started to drop and dwindle. They learned how to band together in order to bring down stronger threats, and then acquired the ability to siphon the prana out of other creatures within the realm of Inanis. Over time, the Kawaka eventually began to grow certain extremities that mirrored some of the beasts that they initially consumed, and this extremity began to just pass down to each of the Kawaka generation. That being the mask, of course. So whenever a Kawaka consumes or initially consumes an Inanic creature, then they gain this mask that almost has like a wood texture to it, and the markings on the front of it represent the beast that they consumed. In addition to that, they do gain part of the abilities and the prana power that the beast that they consumed once had, allowing them to grow stronger, of course, take on bigger threats, which is how the Royal Kawalka end up coming to be. Which Royal Kawalka is, that's a whole topic in itself. Do I see a Lord of the Rings reference? I don't know. I have watched Lord of the Rings a lot, but I'm not entirely familiar with the lore. I'm gonna keep it real. Lore question: what are the history of the Drell? Another fantastic question, because I did enjoy doing that one as well. So the history of the Drell ties back to the history of the material plane being created altogether. So Ashiok, the aspect of dreams, actually forged the material plane within the dreamscape, which was something that she created. She toiled over it for 7 years, I want to say. And the Drell were the consequence of her aspectual creation arcana overflooding into this into the dreamscape, right? Eventually mixing with the residual prana and creation arcana, giving life to these beings known as the Drell. For the longest time, they just resided within the dreamscape, and then once the material plane was actually finished being created and moved into its rightful place, the Drell eventually came into contact with the beings of the material plane via dreams, of course, because the dreamscape and dreams are connected by Ashiok's decree. So really, yeah, that's kind of like the backstory or the creation process of the Drell. In addition to that, many more are created just by natural means in the dreamscape, so the numbers don't really dwindle. Let's see. Okay, example: Morden, god of invention. Morden is also the god of dwarves in D&D. Will that be a problem? It will not be, actually. I can use the name because you can't copyright a name. And I didn't even know that Morden was a D&D god. I'm gonna keep it real. I just found the name and I liked it. But yeah, no. I can use names just fine. I saw Return of the King. That's why I asked. Uh, okay, hold on. What happened in Return to the King? Um, I'd have to rewatch it to understand the reference, honestly. So will all Kowalka PCs have an initial ability based on what they first ate, like a background? What's up, Logan? So that portion I'm actually working out ability-wise. The current Kowalka race has a bit of a different ability, but I'm working on a whole consume and adapt portion of it. But as it stands now, yeah, what you're gonna have is like the option to choose between um, a couple options for your Kowalka. But the idea that I'm going with, the only thing I'm working on is like the balance aspect of it. Is when you kill something, all right, when you kill a creature or something, that you can consume a portion of their prana and gain one of their traits, one of the creature's traits. So let's say you what's a good example? A phase spider, right? Let's say you kill a phase spider and you consume its prana, and then you gain the ability temporarily. Since you're not an Inanis, it wouldn't become a permanent thing. But you would temporarily gain the ability to move in and out of the ethereal plane, right? I think that would be cool, but there is balance issues with that. So, yeah, that requires playtesting. Yeah, traits are it would be temporary. What type of souls are usually made into the Pasiri? So Pasiri were actually people that were native to the material plane that took a trip to the Silver City and essentially ended up getting trapped there. Uh, so they are the cousins of the Kowalka in that they themselves began consuming on the prana of souls instead. And yeah, that's how they ended up the way that they are. I'm not sure how long the traits are going to be kept. Um, like I said, I'm working on if I even want to take that route for it, honestly. Um, but if I did, it would probably like only be like 8 hours, maybe. So let's see. In theory, a PC could go around eating their way through Inanis and become a godlike being. Not quite. Not quite. Because there would need to be a godlike being in there would need to be a godlike being in Inanis for you to become a godlike being. So when the Kowalka consume a creature's prana, their power level um, matches the creature that they just ate. So it's not like a cumulative thing. It's more like a replacement effect. Oh yeah, no, you would only get one of those consumption traits at a time. Yeah, no. Yeah, it would be way too busted otherwise. Um Now, if somehow, some way you ended up killing an Eidolon, which is a god in Inanis, and consuming its prana, um, assuming you have the ability to consume prana, of course, then yeah. The lifespan of a Drell, so that depends on your what's the phrase? What's the phrase? Heritage, ancestry, one of the two. Heritage, there it goes. There are three different types of Drell inside of the Dreamscape, um, but they normally their average age range is between 70 to 110. In the material plane, anyway. In the Dreamscape, you don't age. Let's see. I imagine a lot of species of Inanis have evolved for fast reproduction, so there's always weaker and stronger creatures. once we get into like reproduction inside of Inanis, it starts to get weird because things don't actually reproduce, or things native to Inanis don't actually reproduce. Inanis just creates more things, essentially. So whenever a creature fails to consume something stronger than it, or it dies, then the landscape of Inanis consumes it back, and then it uses that energy to create more beings. Will the Nullcarn have a special diet requirements? That is going to depend on the I was about to say subclass, but races don't have subclasses. Race options is what I'll say. For example, a skeleton isn't going to need to eat at all. But like a ghoul, yeah, a ghoul is probably going to need some good old-fashioned flesh. Subrace, there we go. That was the phrase I was looking for. But yeah, a ghoul might need some flesh. A vampire might need a little sucky every now and then. Take that sentence as you will. Okay, sweet. I want to know more about the Basiri, but can't think of what I want to know more about them. Oh, you know, I think the best way to describe more of the Basiri is to get the blades back onto stream, because they recently had an encounter with a Basiri for the first time. It was great. It was kind of hilarious. Because one of the Basiri had the ability to go back to certain points in time in order to acquire different items to sell. So, oh, my AC just kicked on. Hold on, I'm gonna like turn that off because I'm pretty sure that can be heard in my microphone. All right, big bet. But yeah, next time we have a stream with the blades, we'll get into the Basiri just for you, Fire. Just for you. Let's see, how's the alchemy coming along? Well, I'm making some slow progress on that. I do have a couple other projects that are in front of it right now, but I am planning to have the full alchemy thing done by I'm trying to do it before I have to move, because I move in April and that's going to be a hectic time for me. So I'm trying to get it done before then. Yes, races also vary wildly, even within their own races. For example, the Kowalka have their own sub race called the Kowalkin, and those are Kowalka that have pretty much completely lost their sanity, like 100% completely. There's a lot of lore behind that too. It's nice. It's nice, is all I'm gonna say. I like how you can see the races people are interested in by these questions. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Lets me know what I need to make sure I finish first too, so people can play test. Oh yeah, no, I did miss that. My bad, my guy. Can Kowalka influence their own mass through their own abilities to an extent? Unfortunately, no. The Kowalka as a race cannot influence what their mask look like. That is just a byproduct of what they consume. Now, as a player, you can make your mask look however you want. I don't care. When it comes to the Kowalka NPC, though, I do have, specific designs for them to best represent the creature that they've consumed. Which once the Afraid of the Dark bestiary book is completed, because those are a bunch of creatures that come from Inanis, you guys will have a better idea of what kind of creatures the Kowalka might have consumed. Also, don't mind me, I'm like eating cookie butter while we do this because I'm at that point in my life. Yeah. Nah, I don't share my cookie butter, man. This stuff is gold, and they just got it back in my city. The whole COVID thing made manufacturing it or shipping it to Trader Joe's near impossible, and I didn't feel like ordering it on Amazon and waiting. So I guess the smartest thing to do was just to wait till it could be shipped to Trader Joe's, because that makes sense. All right, now let's get into the big question that a lot of you have. Why not just allow the Kowalka to have one trait permanently as a sub-rape option instead of the consume? Because of just flavor. There is no other way for me to explain my desire than just pure, unadulterated flavor. And I love it. But like I said, I'm going back and forth on just doing a permanent trait or doing the consume one, so it's a toss up. I'll probably make a playtest material document for both options, and then see which one is just liked better. Let's see, just going to try any description for the Drell's heritages. I think I actually might have a description for that. Where's my other browser? But to answer your question about balance, having a permanent trait that just lasts indefinitely versus one that lasts temporarily, there's really not much of a difference there, balance wise anyway. And considering that I've created all of the creatures in Dormenvale, I would know what the Kowalka would be capable of if, they consume something like that. I mean, heck, I could even do it for just like 2 hours if I really wanted to. I don't know. I think it would be fun. It would be fun. Besides, monster traits aren't even always that broken anyway, and it's not like I'm gonna let somebody be able to consume like legendary action or legendary resistance. It would just be a base trait. Like maybe they consumed a wyvern. Well, now they can fly. Congratulations. Oh, I have to sneeze. Ow. Yep, that hurt. Let's see. So for the Pasiri, I know that the mask can change, but can the souls be from outside of Dormenvale, like from base 5e, or will that have to be something you have to think on? Okay, hold on. Let me think about that question real quick. I know that mask can... So for the Pasiri, I know that the mask can change, but can the souls be from outside of Dormenvale? I guess for that question, I'd have to have a little bit more of an explanation on that. When you say from base D&D, are you saying that maybe like somebody died in Eberron and their soul was transported to the Silver City, and then that's how they became a Pasiri? Also, I just want to shout out to the fact that we've had like a solid 9 people watching for a hot second. I appreciate all of y'all. Now, unfortunately, lore-wise, for the Pasiri, that wouldn't be quite possible because the Pasiri are people who were mortal people who took a trip to the Silver City. So, for example, just say like somebody in Bridegale's city dust side decided, hey, yo, let's go take a trip to the Silver City. Hold on, there is cookie butter stuck in my throat. Oh, I should have got water. Huh. Anyway, nope, still stuck. Oh, God. Oh, I'm gonna die today. Anyway, so let's say a group of dudes from Dust Side decided, hey, let's go to the Silver City, right? So they hop up on a plane or ticket. They get to the Astral Temple. They find the door that has the Silver City and they walk in, right? They do some absolute idiotic stuff and just and end up getting trapped there, right? Now in the Silver City, you the Silver City's laws are a bit different than the material planes or even Inanis for that matter, right? So you find yourself stuck, you find yourself starving, and eventually you get to the point where you just you got to figure out how to eat some other way, man. You got to get that nutrients another way. So you pull a little nightmares, right? A six. Wait, no, not six. Raincoat Girl. No, that is six. Yeah, I had it right. Six. And you do the old sucky sucky on a couple souls, right? Because eventually, if you spend enough time within Inanis or the Silver City, you do become subjected to its laws and its requirements. It takes a while, but yes, it is something that happens. So you do the old sucky sucky on a soul, and you find yourself becoming one of the Pasiri and ending up in the Pasiri's grove as a result of your sins, or of your stupidity, not so much your sins. Cookie butter took it out, yeah. Side note, if anybody's seen Little Nightmares 2, it's fire. If you haven't, please watch it. Oh my gosh. Um, let's see. Okay, so that answers the Pasiri one, I think. So when it comes to, so technically speaking, um, the Silver City, Inanis, Auguris, you can't age in those planes of existence. The beings themselves can age because they are still, standard mortals, standard humanoids, right? So once they get back to the material plane, the aging process continues. So yeah, age is a bit lost to the Pasiri when they're there, once they're there for a while, but you will get to a point where you just croak if you once you stay in the material plane long enough. Let's see, what is the next question? Sounds like, well, what it sounded like was only the Inanic beasts grant permanent traits, so it really depends on if Ikawaka has access to something like that. That was the other thing that I really that I thought about too, was that maybe they can only get that if they were in Inanis, the permanent trait portion of it. But then that's just a lot of hoops that you have to jump through to use something that's a part of your base race. So I'm like, like I said, a lot of that is still up in the air, ability wise. I've played with a couple things, and I'm sure I'll land on something eventually. Yeah, if you can even kill one. That's yeah, that's a big one. Whenever I can catch a stream, I'll be here the entire time. I appreciate you for your contribution, good sir. What time is it? What time are we rocking out with? It is 6:30. Okay. Let me text my boys real quick and see if we're doing D&D at 7 or 7:30 today. All right, 7:30. Bet. I've got till like 7:15. Hey, it's Vinny. What's up, my guy? Note to self: if I go to Inanis, bring snacks, mini snacks. Okay, so now we're gonna get into uniquely divine. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a seat, grab some snacks, maybe some Twizzlers, popcorn, or some Fanta or something. Let's get into uniquely divine. Hey, not too bad, gorgeous. Not too bad. Now that you're here, anyway. Some Domino's pizza, yes. In terms of magical tech, when we see an updated list, that'll be a little bit farther out, in all honesty. On my project list, anyway, it's a little bit farther out. Also, side note, what I'm designing for the website right now is a progression watcher, so that way you guys can monitor where I'm at on certain things or where they are on my priority list. It'll make it easier for everybody, and plus it'll look cool. It'll look very cool. Now, uniquely divine. So let's get into the questions and concerns from uniquely divine, courtesy of the Discord. Now, how long has this has been? An hour? I'll have to edit this to make it shorter. I'll have to edit this to make it a lot shorter. So let's do the outro for the YouTube video real quick, because I'll cut it off here, and then if they want to know about uniquely divine, just come to the Twitch. It'll be up here for like 2 weeks. So if you're watching this on YouTube, assuming I keep this portion in, I don't know, I'll figure out when I'm editing. Hey, Hollows typing. Then come over to the Twitch, subscribe, and then you won't miss when we have cool discussions like this. So, as said before, if you're new to Dormenvale, this is the first time you've heard about it, then consider supporting us on the Kickstarter. We've only got, well, as of this live stream, we've only got about 7 more days left. So if you're interested, you got to hop on that fast. In addition to that, consider joining our Discord, because I'll be posting sneak peeks. We chat it up. We've got some good discussions. We share memes. It's a good time all around. With that said, thank y'all for your contribution. I hope to see you in the living world. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into uniquely divine. Now that we've got rid of the YouTube people. So, okay, let's start off with, was it in questions, or I think it was in questions. Oh, I still gotta take time to clean this. Y'all be wilding in here. Also, everybody say hi to all the citizens that are online anyway. Everybody that's offline doesn't get a shout out. So you, Mr. Ashton, Bob Meister, CC Money, Cooper Eurogym, Dover Jack, which actually you're already here. I know I saw you here a little bit ago. You'll probably pop up eventually. Fire, Glurpy, Hollow, Chaos, Crimson, McTom, Pax, Steven, and Tigerus. Y'all the real ones for always stalking us. I know you're here. Just watching the chat. CJ, this is why you don't hide offline. Yeah, Jay, this is why you shouldn't hide offline. Join us. Be one of us. Now, let's go to the first big question. The first big question, which is all the way at the bottom. I gotta go through all of these questions. We're still going. Okay, cool. Yes, soul. Personality, memories, prana, life energy. Sappy sappies. All right. Am I trying to make custom oaths and domains for each god? No. Technically speaking, no. No. Now, does that not mean, or that does mean that each of these gods will receive their own unique set of features, spells, and whatnot? Yes. Yes, they will. So let's get into that real quick, right? So what uniquely divine is, as stated before, it's essentially a new way that the gods interact with their followers on a more unique and personal level, right? So first and foremost, each and every god has their own unique set of things that they offer. And that is not just for clerics and paladins. Keep that in mind. It's not just for clerics and paladins. This is for clerics, paladins, warlocks, fighters, rangers, the whole nine. It's for everybody. In the beginning, yeah, I only have, the stuff for the more or the traditionally religious classes. But that's really what uniquely divine is. It's I guess I can call it a rework of how gods work in 5e. That's probably the best way to put it. I didn't have time to make a document for it that I could just show you guys real quick. So I'll go to the best example that I have right now, which is actually these two. Yeah. No, actually, the best one is the Shonos one, and that's just the spells. I am a true stalker. Oh my gosh. You guys are on something else. Okay, let's see. Shonos, God of Light, that's the spells. Gods of Dormenvale, that is not the move. So where would I have put it? Probably in my base document. I can't wait for my Kowalka mask to be done. It's gonna look so nice. I'm making it just like that, by the way. Okay, did I put it in here? I think I did. Yeah, okay. Okay, before I get into this. Oh yeah, so Fire, what I'm going to be doing for the questions is essentially I'm going to be making a new questions channel. One where I can only type in it, and then I'm going to put all the questions that you guys have asked and then I've answered, and then I'm going to put them into that one, so that it's just easier for everyone to view. Make sure there's no other new questions just in case. Okay, cool. So this is probably the closest thing I have to what the oh no, this one's probably better. I'm gonna have to take some time to actually make one. Anyway, I'll just do my best to explain it with the content that I have here. So, bear with me. So, essentially, think of, so when you see this Eternal Light domain, right? Ignore this, right? Pretend this doesn't exist for a second, and instead is replaced with, I just had it up. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. So the title up here, instead of saying Eternal Light domain, it would just say Shonos, the first light, or God of Light, Eternal Light. I forget what his title is. And then all the information below is going to be, of course, his lore, which I do enjoy Shonos' lore a lot. I do enjoy Shonos' lore a lot. I'm gonna just keep that. I'm gonna throw that out there. But all the information below will be the various things that he would be able to offer you, right? So you would see his full spell list right here. It wouldn't be specific to just clerics or whatever. There'll be different sections with on the page that'll be separated depending on which class you are playing as, and if you're looking to become a follower of this god, of course. But in this case, I only have the cleric ones up here because, well, that's as far as I've gotten on this document. But yeah, so each of the gods will have their own dedicated spell list. Each of them also have, I want to say 5 or 6 new spells. No, yeah, 6 new spells, 5 in their actual spell list. and then one capstone spell, as I like to call them. Because let's keep it a buck, most capstone abilities in standard 5th edition kind of suck. So I'm shooting to amp those up a little bit. This one being Cruel Sun, and you might be familiar with that name because yes, I took inspiration from 7 Deadly Sins for this spell. I 100% did, and I'm not even gonna try to fight against that. I love Escanor. I love the Cruel Sun ability. I wanted it as a spell. Fight me. But yeah, so each of the gods are going to have their own dedicated spell list. Now the features is where things are going to get interesting, right? There was just an alert and I don't know what that was. I think it was a follow. Ah, the Creepers 3. Thank you for the... No, wait, no, that wasn't it. Fire. Fire has hosted me. I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you. I gotta figure out how to make the alerts pop up because I'm pretty sure I have my alert box. Oh, it's at the bottom of all my stuff. Ah, that's why I never saw it. Hey, yo, somebody make an alert pop up real quick. So each class has different options. Do classes like paladins and clerics that originally had this kind of thing going to have more options? Or do all classes get capstone stuff? Yes. So paladins and clerics have the most options when it comes to what their gods offer, naturally, right? Because it's just that's what their class revolves around. As far as like, let's say a warlock, because a warlock in Dormenvale can petition some of the gods to be their patron. The list is a bit smaller for warlocks because warlocks already have a lot of stuff. And I know this because I pretty much only play warlock when I'm a player. So yeah, warlocks, you know, they get a little something here and there. And then all the other classes do too if they take the follower feat, right? So for example, if somebody took the follower of Shonos feat, then they would have access to some of the features on Shonos's uniquely divine page. I think that actually pretty much explains uniquely divine. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, instead of like domains and oaths and everything being separated, they're just all under a god, right? Each god has a specific set of features and whatnot that they offer for each of their acolytes, their clerics, their followers, their paladins, their champions, their heralds, their children, all that stuff. And that is all in the name of just making the gods feel more uniquely divine. That is the whole purpose of it. Tiefling warlock, yeah. Can you be a paladin and take the feat? It would be redundant. I'm gonna be honest with you. It would be very redundant. You could. I'm not gonna stop people from doing it. However, I personally wouldn't waste a feat on taking the follower feat if you're already a paladin or a cleric. It's really just for those people who want to incorporate a god into their story and then also get a mechanical benefit from it. That's the other thing. If you are a cleric or a paladin and you take if you do choose to take the follower feat, you can't take it for another god. It would have to be your god. Yeah. Now, if you're a ranger or something and you choose the follower feat, pick whatever god you want. Yeah, you're good. Well, okay. Actually, let me go a little bit deeper than that. There are some instances where you can, right? So, for example, with Shonos, Shonos's daughter is Aliana, the Lady of the Sun. His wife is Seanine, the Dreamweaver. And they also have one more daughter. Did I not put her in here? Well, I should have, but it's Diana, right? So they're all essentially like a family or whatever. So let's say you were a cleric of Shonos and you also wanted to take the follower feat and be a follower of Aliana or a follower of Seanine, then you could do that. It works similarly in some of the other I forgot the word that I used for it, but groups is what I'll call it. For example, where's the other one? The Sea Tempest one, right? So the Sea Tempest goddess Vina, the Stormcaller, and the Winter Tempest god Cryo, they are kind of like buddy buddy is probably the best way to explain it. So if you want it to be a paladin of Vina and then a follower of Cryo, you could do that. And that'll all be outlined in Uniquely Divine as well. Yeah, like I said before, Uniquely Divine, it honestly, I could have just made Uniquely Divine and just did a Kickstarter for that. That's how much crap is in this segment. It's a lot. It's a lot. And probably should have because it's a lot. No, you cannot take an ability score improvement and take a feat. It'll have to be one or the other. So how does the point buy system work? Oh, how do you explain the point buy system? It's shoot. You know what? I'm going to summon Jay to explain the point buy system in the chat. Hey, it's Tony. I love you, BB. Or actually, I will pull up, because I just remembered I'm screen sharing. And I also can't type, apparently. Hey, don't worry, guys. I can love both of you. Point by calculator. Okay. So, let's see. Do gods have laws or rules that they must follow? Depends on the god, is what I'll say. Depends on the god. Of course, all gods have their set of ideals and whatnot. And, you know, if you go outside of those parameters, you could potentially lose your divine power, of course. But you know, that's just how. Are we allowed to kiss the DM, like hypothetically? Depends on the circumstances. But I'm gonna say yes, hypothetically. Or it keeps the god from smiting people. Aspectual decree. A god cannot directly harm a mortal or a soft skin. However, they can use things like nature, plagues, natural disasters, things like that. That's fair game. But back to point buy system. So you see here that we have 27 points, right? And we can put them pretty much wherever we like. So let's say I want to put, I'm gonna make my strength a 15. I'm gonna make my con at 12, sure. I'll boost that up to 10. I'll make you a 10 and a 10. And wait, this doesn't seem right. Hold on, this doesn't seem right. Because I shouldn't be able to make all of my scores positive with point buy system. I was pretty sure I could. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to revisit this. Because now I'm thinking I might have misunderstood point buy. I was pretty sure you only got 20 points. But, can I make a score of 15? Or 20? No. You can have 3 15s off the bat with point buy? I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay, so maybe this is fine, actually. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna come back to this. Yeah, you could have all 10s. Point by looks like it has some pretty low stats to start off with. Yeah, but so does standard array too. What keeps gods from smiting people? I did answer that, right? I think so. Uh, Aspectual decree makes it so gods can't straight up just kill a mortal. I think I said that already. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's why. That's why they have to use things like plagues, storms, stuff like that. Or I mean, that's why champions and heralds and whatnot are so important because yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think I did just figure out how point by works though. Um, so I think I will just move forward with that, or maybe I will just what's it called? Do standard array. I don't know. Oh wait, no, I already answered point by. I have to go with point by. It's already set in stone. It's in a video now. It's too late. So they can just use lightning to murder you with 1,000 lightning bolts and then say nature. Uh, no, that'd be an instance of like rules lawyering. But the judge in Carson is the one responsible for keeping gods in check. So, um, no. But so yeah, that would be an instance of directly harming. Oh yeah, no, they 100% can just throw a storm at you. I mean, Vina has done that to Rowan a couple times. During their fight with the Oxombru, they were in the midst of a divine storm. Granted, Vina wasn't trying to kill Rowan, but it was more so just trying to test him. But yes, they can. Are there benefits from being followers of Royal Kowalka like Queen and Pharaoh? Unfortunately, they can't give power. Kowalka cannot yet. Anyway, they can't yet. Because at the end of the day, they are soft skins that just were dealt a very unfortunate set of cards, pun intended. And yeah, they made do with what they could in Inanis. Granted, yes, King, Queen, Pharaoh are very strong. They're very strong, but they don't have the capability of giving people magic. They can't be a patron as much as I wanted to. But lore wise, it just wouldn't make sense. Not yet, anyway. There's a couple other things that have to happen first. Well, actually, let me retract that. It is possible. It is planned because of what Queen, Pharaoh, Jester, and King have consumed. However, as it stands right now, you cannot. Oh yeah, no, you would have to do something pretty bad um, for a god to just consistently throw stuff at you. You would have to do something pretty messed up for a god to take time out of their day to specifically focus on you. Has anyone tried creating an artifact to harness divine power, arcane power, like a baby well of Auguris? Yes, Zulin attempted to do the same thing because the well of Auguris consumes the raw form of cathomancy as well as creation arcana that the aspects use, and to a smaller extent the gods as well. So Zulin was looking to do it in order to create a true safe haven realm for the undead, right? And this was before the Eidolon of Pestilence came over and was like, "Hey, yo, bro, I can give you a realm if you just help me get out of here." So yes, someone has tried. It did not work. That is how Zulin became undead in the first place. It backfired horribly. Let's see, time check. Okay, so I've got a little bit longer. Oh no, just kidding. They're saying 8. That works out perfectly. Yes, that works out perfectly. Is it illegal? Is he the only one that has tried? He is the only one that's tried, and he'll probably be the last one that tried. Yes. Aspects don't fancy it when you try to copy their well too much. For sure, my guy, you go get that food, you go get that bread. Oh no, I'm only gonna be on for about another 30 minutes because I'm gonna keep it a buck. I still have to get dressed. I'm surprised no one has tried at least to just replace the god, or just the need for the gods. Yes, they have actually. That is the whole purpose of the nation of Contrivial. To surpass the need for humanity to need gods or to need their assistance. And that's why a lot of them are kind of standoffish against gods, because in their eyes they have succeeded. And some may argue actually the nation of Contrivial did succeed because they created the artificial divinity beast known as Absolution 6 is the model that they're on right now. Back in the first Inanic invasion, when the Eidolon were on the loose, the Absolution 2, I think it was, fought against the Eidolon of Pestilence, the one that released the ancestral necrosis plague, and he put in the work. He put in the work, and the Eidolon of Pestilence is, the Eidolon of Pestilence's rampage happened after the gods left, so Absolution 2 came in clutch, and that's when the nation of Contrivial kind of decided, hey, yo, we can create our own power to protect ourselves. We don't need the gods, and that's why that nation is so anti-religious. Now, Absolution 2, Electric Bungaloo, yes. Nah, I'm actually really looking forward to the Blade spending more time in Athlon because they might be able to get to the adventure point where they can pilot Absolution 6. And to me, that'll be a lot of fun. Because yeah, it's an artificial divinity beast that needs to be piloted by somebody. Uh, yes, it is essentially just a mech. I am well aware of that, but this is a high fantasy magic tech world, so let me have my mechs. Yes, you did, because I found out that you can actually vape on stream. And there is, as long as you're not a partner, and I don't plan to take a partnership anyway. So, because that way, when people come to the stream, they ain't got to worry about ads or whatever gobbledygook that whole partnership thing comes with. We're keeping this ad free. We're keeping it ad free. Just because I love you guys. Do the gods have a plan to deal with the fact that mortal races are catching up to them, or at least outpacing the need for them? In all honesty, no. No, they do not. Because at the end of the day, mortals are still mortals, and gods are immortal. So their whole idea right now their whole course of action, essentially, is just to focus on the people that do want them back, instead of focusing on the people that don't. Because in the case that mortals do surpass the gods, and those who become paragons, if they really wanted to, could wage war on the gods and put up a decent fight. Granted, you would need more than one paragon to do so, but in theory, it is possible, yeah. What flavor mod or tank do I have? Right now, I'm just rocking out on my little Vaporesso mod with a, what is it? A kiwi, pineapple, orange, and banana salt nick juice. But the one that I usually use is a Geek Tech Zeus mod, our tank, with a Fruity Pebbles juice in it. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Paragon raid party. That would be pretty pog, honestly. I don't think you want to use your Paragon power on the gods, though. I don't know if that's the move. In my opinion, I think they had a good reason to say, all right, you guys are on your own. Because the Alvalash, the Kowalka, before they became the Kowalka, they had a legitimate solution to the whole plague and the Eidolon and the Inanic invasion, but the other people of Dormenvale just said no, get yeeted, and dropped them in Inanis. So yeah, and that was after the other four creator races already died. So what would happen if you kill a god? Well, it is not that simple, unfortunately. Because all things that die see the Silver City, right? All things that die see the Silver City, and that includes gods. That includes the gods. However, when a god goes to the Silver City, their prana / soul is a bit different, built different, so to speak. So if it sits there long enough, it can actually just revive. And then it'll go back to Auguris. The Silver City can't keep a god's soul held in the Silver City. It's not strong enough for that. And they kind of can when the solution to the issue was given to them, or given to the mortals, and they decided to eat them into Inanis. I mean, granted, most of them don't take the moral high ground on that situation anyway, but they could. They really could. Because if I gave somebody a solution to an issue and they like yeeted it into the trash, I'm a dip too. I'm gonna be like, all right, you figure it out for yourself then. It was hate. For the Alvalash. Hey, it's Mr. Simon. How you doing, my guy? How you doing? Well, because they were in the middle of an Inanic invasion, and the Alvalash were straight up using an Inanic magic in order to preserve themselves and to get rid of the ancestral necrosis plague. So, and they became very adept with Inanic magic. I should mention that. And that really was probably their saving grace when they got to Inanis, and helped in their survival, because they became really proficient with Inanic magic during the Inanic invasion. So the rest of the world kind of wasn't a fan of that, though, because Inanic beast ravaging the land, and then you got these dudes over here using Inanic magic. Hey, yo, dinner sounds great right now. I really do need food. I don't think I've eaten anything but cookie butter today. Oh, I should fix that. I should probably fix that. Bleh. Yeah, I know. I've been like really busy today though. Um, oh yeah, no, Wincoat has been my saving grace as of late because their stuff is like it's cheap and it comes in bulk and it's nice. Now we're gonna start wrapping up here in just a little bit. So, are there any other questions pertaining to lore or the Kickstarter, or if you just want to ask personal questions? It's whatever you guys like, honestly. Except for you, Simon. You don't get to ask me personal questions. Ooh, somebody's at my door. That document I'll have to find. I know I've created it. Unfortunately, I'm working from like 3 different computers, so I have to go back and forth between them right now. But once I find it, I will put it in the. Or would that be considered? That might be considered playtest material. I might have to hold off on that one for a little bit. Um, I'll get back to you on that one actually. Either I'll put it in the sneak peeks or I'll let you guys know in the general chat that I gotta wait till the play testing comes out. I do want to make a system for half breeds. I really do. I really, really do. But that's really more so going to be like a gravy thing. So if I finish all of the other stuff I have planned in enough time, then I will go ahead and make a crossbreed system. If not, then it'll just have to wait. I know eventually though I will do that. Oh no, I get what you mean, but I'm looking at it from more the mechanical aspect, like which features transfer over in the case of crossbreeding. I mean, I could just make like a static rule set for it, but I kind of want to make it customizable. Actually, let me make sure I didn't miss any questions in the make sure I didn't miss any questions in the Discord. Awesome. It's important to mention too that there are some paladin is going to be a separate set of paladin options that aren't divinity based. Or let me take that back. They're not revolving the gods, but they do use divinity magic. Customizable is a hard thing to balance, yes, but it's something I am willing to take on. Let's see. Let's see. I already answered those. Okay, I'm just gonna have to like clean that out first. Man of many faces, hello, good sir. Thank you for being online. Thank you for your contribution. Oh, wait, I did not mean to exit that out. Also, totally unrelated, but like if y'all watch Corey Kenshin, Eldritch hit me up about it. I love that man. When will we get to see more of the Dormenvale races? Yes. So the story or the general idea for all the races is pretty much done. The thing that has to be done is the stat portion or the actual abilities. And that's where all the playtesting is going to come in at. More of a question out of flavor than lore or mechanics from NPC. Could a Kawaka wear a mask on top of their mask if that was their preferred magic item? I think that would be hilarious, honestly. If you want to wear a mask on top of your mask, I say go for it. It would make it easier to hide the fact that you're a Kawaka. Man of many masks. Did I lock my door? I hope I locked my door. Oh, it's my brother. Hold on, I gotta go let him in. I just had really weird feelings, so I put the bar up. Okay, back to the and taking them off was like a scene from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, that actually would be funny. Also, when can I get with you for my NPC idea? Pretty much whenever. Just shoot it on over in the Discord, and then we can chat about it. Careful with the mask. I put 2 condoms on one time and to say it didn't work. Yeah, that's a fair point right there. Also, my mic audio is peaking, and I don't appreciate that. Do we have a setup for the NPCs? I'm working on a document for that, actually, that people can just fill out and then, send back to me. Makes life easy. And then we convene from there. The document will have, like, limitations. If you need any extra information, lore-wise, then I'll give it to you. Yeah. I'm gonna have all that. What are the names like for the Pasiri? Okay, so for the Pasiri, pretty much all their names either have the prefix of pas or the suffix of siri. So for example, the Pasiri that the Blades ran into was all siri. Yeah, that's pretty much the best way to explain that. Granted, not all of them use their suffix when they introduce themselves, but their full name, yeah, it does have the prefix pas or the suffix of Siri. So Drell names are a bit more complicated because Drells, in all honesty, don't really they don't really name themselves, right? Their whole shtick is that they take others' identities and they rock out with that. In the case they do communicate with each other, though, in their base form in the dreamscape, then they refer to each other in the form or in the context of like a concept, right? a concept or like an emotion, like a powerful emotion that Drell might associate themselves with. So for all intents and purposes, the best way to go about naming your Drell is what would be a good example? You know, I'll have to think of a good example for that one. Because in all honesty, yeah, for the Drell, they're really about using other people's identities, so they take their names. Yeah, something akin to that, yeah. Might meet a Drell who refers to themselves as Hope. You might find one that refers to themselves as Joy. They pretty much go based off of concepts and emotions of the living creatures that they choose to visit in the dreamscape. And I swear, if somebody ends up naming their Drell something edgy like Fear or Chaos, actually Chaos I'm okay with because it reminds me of the Sega Genesis villain, which is great. So actually, if you name your Drell Chaos, I give you bonus points. Exactly, Chaos Control. A Drell named Shadow would be appropriate too, actually. What if they named Horny? Then I'm going to deck somebody and probably give them a hero point. Yeah, absolutely. So upon making a Drell, you do have 2 forms that you consistently just do know that you can take at will. And of course, you work with your DM to figure out what those appearances look like. You can even maybe give them some backstory for just flavor and story purposes. Personally, when I run the Drell, or at least the beta version of the Drell, I did like to put a lot of emphasis on the backstory of the identities that they take, kind of like the Charlatan background. Just adds a lot of fun roleplay opportunities. Oh, also, did no wait, I shared with you guys the art for the for one of the Kowalka, right? The one I think I posted it in the Discord for Dormenvale 18 plus. Pretty sure I did actually. You know what? Let me just check. I think I put in general. I need to make a channel for like pictures and memes and stuff. Fire has messaged me. I will look at your message off stream, my dude. I know we're keeping your character hush hush. Yeah, with the levitating Orbeez. I can't find it right now. I'll find it later. Just make the live world 18 plus. The only thing with that is I have a specific idea in mind for Dormenvale 18 plus. We're gonna get a little saucy. We're gonna get a little saucy. Plus, I don't have time to make the content that I want for Dormenvale 18 plus right now anyway, or the budget. I do do not have the time or the budget. Oh, bet for sure. Actually, I could just pull it up on my computer because I have it saved. All right, my dudes, I'm gonna have to head off in about 5-6 minutes. I gotta get ready for the session. It's one of the few times I get to be a player, so you know I'm excited. Oh, bet. I'm still keeping it hidden. I'll do it over voice chat. Oh yeah, for sure, my guy. Ooh, I think I'll make a voice chat, a private voice chat. So that way we can speak about things in secret. Yeah, I gotta come up with a cool fancy name for it. I'll probably name it after one of the taverns or something in Dormenvale. Which that's why the voice chat room is called a Mimic Inn. It's because well, there's a Mimic Inn in Dustside. I love my baby. He's such a good boy. All right, my dudes. Well, before I head out, then, any last minute questions, concerns? Oh yeah, for sure, Jay. I will dedicate some time to working that out with y'all. Oh, the cookie butter's stuck in my throat again. Drinking and eating cookie butter on stream is going to be so much harder when I have my mask. Oh, dude, any day. Just pull up whenever you want. You can have it all. But nah. See, luckily with the last mask that I had as my placeholder mask, it had like a slit in the front. So I could like slide a straw in there if I want, but my Kowalka mask does not. So that's gonna be a challenge. I feel like as we keep on with this, there's gonna be like a sus compilation between the Blades and I when they just come in and we act all like gay with each other. It'll be hilarious. I can see it now. YouTubers making theory videos on my sexuality. But I'm gonna let y'all know now, there is not a single person on earth that can explain my sexuality. Oh, see, now I gotta see what she said in general. Man of many masks. Oh, bro, believe me, I get it. I do. Work is it's important and it takes up a lot of time. Like for me personally, I work about I'm gonna say a good, cause let me think. I would do 9 hours at Smart Stage. I do about 4 or 5 hours on clients. So what? 14. I work about 14 hours a day, something like that. Yeah, something like that. It can eat my life force. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, that's gold. That art doesn't really look like something. Oh, I just thought about the fact no one else can see this. Okay. That art doesn't look like something that eats life force. You obviously haven't ran into the kind of girls I have, so I'm gonna keep it at that. I'm doing college, get Monday, Wednesday off, but I'm in all day Thursday, Fridays. Oof. I know how that college life goes, though. I know how that college life. But hey, cheers to you, my dude, for doing that. College is a big accomplishment, so you get my applause. Oh, now you guys are trying to have your NPCs collab with each other? Oh joy. Oh joy. The stream chat has moved to Discord. Now you guys get to see it, and you guys get to see it live as I see it. Oh, you're doing acting. Oh, I like that. I like that. Now it makes sense why you play D&D. That's all we do over here. All right, my dudes, it is 7:30, so I have about 10 minutes to get everything turned off, get dressed, get my D&D stuff, and drive over to my mate's house. Yeah. Anywho, thank you very much to everyone that stopped by. It's just kind of been lurking in the background. You know who you are. I can see you in the chats. Love you, BB. Love you, BB. I'm gonna get on out of here. Again, it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm gonna see you guys shortly, actually. And as always, thank you for your contribution. I'll see you guys later.